Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to CW Live. My name's Chris Webb, Head of Communications at the CW. We say this all the time, that our sessions that we come and bring you are really, really important, but this one is very, very important. You'd have known that a couple of weeks ago we had the massive and historic ballot result across BT Group and Openreach, and we're so grateful still for your support. And we know that you're keen to find out more news, where you're going to get a lot more news today. Delighted to be joined by, first of all, the president of the CW, Karen Rose. Afternoon, Karen.
Hi, Chris.
We've got our Deputy General Secretary for Telecoms and Financial Services, Andy Kerr. Afternoon, Andy.
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. And we've got our General Secretary, Dave Ward. Afternoon, Dave.
Hi, Chris.
So, yeah, it's a big session. So I want basically just to give it a minute or so the majority of you can come on board so everyone hears the message, particularly from Karen, Dave and Andy. It's just going to be so important for you to all hear this afternoon. So whilst they're prepping to do their message, just let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how long you've been a member of the union, and we'll get the best of those up on screen. So on that basis, on the basis you're all doing that and thanking you for that, I'm going to ask Karen to open the session and make an announcement. Over to you, Karen.
Thank you, Chris. So as Chris has already said, that on the 30th of June, we announced a huge national ballot result across Openreach and BT. And we assured CW members working in these companies that we would be responsible with their vote, and we have been. We engaged Philip Jansen, the CEO of BT Group, and we made it clear that if the imposition on pay was lifted, if the company indicated they were willing to shift position, then we would enter into negotiations. But BT Group have rejected this offer. This is a dispute that could have been avoided. The responsibility for this dispute sits entirely with BT Group. This is a company that has made millions in profit and handed out hundreds of millions to shareholders, given the CEO a 32% increase and hiking customer profits. Yet there's been poverty to CW members who are the workers in Openreach and BT, and we can't stand by. This is why, for the first time since 1987, there will be a BT Group-wide telecoms dispute in the UK. Today, we have served notice on the employer, and the CW members working in Openreach and BT plc will take strike action on Friday, the 29th of July, and Monday, the 1st of August. We should also be clear that we're preparing to take further action if the company doesn't see sense and return to the negotiating table with an open mind. To our members that work in BT, PLC and Openreach, we want to thank you for your incredible support so far. We'll answer any questions you have in the coming days, and we're sure that you will have many questions. But our message to you today is stand together, and we will win this dispute, and we will deliver the pay rise that you so clearly deserve.
Thank you, Karen. It's fantastic. So, just obviously we've got it up on screen. You can see it. Just to sort of formally, back up what Karen said, then strike action called across BT Group and Openreach on the 29th of July and the 1st of August. So I'm going to ask for some reaction. First of all, from our General Secretary, Dave Ward. Dave.
Yeah, hi, everybody. I want to reiterate what Karen said. We've tried to get the company around the negotiating table. At the moment, it seems that their position is that they're just going to carry on regardless. So yes, we've called the strike action on the dates that Karen mentioned, and we're not taking a step backwards. It's really important now that we carry on communicating with our members, engaging with our members, and we will take that strike action, and that strike action will be well supported by our members if the company, they've got another 2 weeks, don't change their mind and remove the imposition of pay and engage in meaningful negotiations. I'm also here to say that the company's position is not sustainable. If you think about this, and if the public, who I believe will support us, and the media and politicians, about what the background to this dispute is, then we're in the position here where we believe we'll get their support, and we're going to pile the pressure on the CEO and the board over the next couple of weeks. So first of all, £1.3 billion profit, a £700 million shareholder dividend, and CEO has increased his earnings during this period by over 32% to £3.5 million per year. At the same time, the company chose to put prices up by over 11%. And, clearly they've caused some of the spiral in inflation. CEOs and boards that choose to make their profits higher and higher, even when inflation was only at 5%, they chose to double the increase in their prices. They have caused this dispute. And what's important now is that we get that message out there. I think they've lost all respect from the workforce, and I think the same will happen across the whole of the public once we get into the pressure that we're going to put on in the next couple of weeks. Let me just explain that, because as well as supporting the strike action, we want you to support us in some of the activities that we're going to be putting out there that lead into the strike, to get that pressure built fairly and squarely on the board and the CEO. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to host a meeting with shareholders directly. The CWU will call that meeting with the major shareholders, and we're going to put our position to those shareholders. We're going to explain how unfair it is, and we're going to ask them to urge the company to get back round the negotiating table. Secondly, we're going to be writing to all politicians across the UK, setting out the details of how we've got into this position. And we're going to be asking them to make it clear to BT that it's just not acceptable to hide away from this dispute. And, when you look at the amount of disputes that are taking place at the moment, I think BT are the only company that I'm aware of who are actually refusing to get round the table and negotiate. And that's not a sustainable position for them. And we're going to make sure that, we get our message across in the media, that the CWU is willing to still talk. But, we're very clear here. And, I do want to make this absolutely crystal clear. We're not taking a step backward. If the company don't want to do the right thing here, then we're going to have to take that strike action. And I know that you'll support us. So look, this is a big moment. We're going to come out. We're going to communicate more with you. We're going to get you to be active in writing some of those letters to politicians, involved in some of the debates that we'll be having with the shareholders, to explain our position. Because there's no doubt about it, our members deserve a better deal. And you voted in huge numbers for supporting the union. And now, as Karen said, it's time for us to stand together and take the company on.
Thank you, Dave. Fantastic. And I can see a huge reaction in the comments. So please, if you're back in the union, just simply put "I'm with my union" in the comments now, and we'll get the best of those up online. I'm going to ask now our Deputy General Secretary, Andy Kerr, to make a statement to the members.
Oh, thanks, Chris, and thanks to Karen and to Dave for their comments, and probably reiterating some of the points both of them made. I mean, this is I suppose, in some respects, a historic moment for us. First major strike across the whole of BT in 35 years. And I don't do this with any pleasure at all. In fact, I'm actually quite angry about the fact that we've had to actually get to this position. We have had months to discuss pay with the company. We have sat down with the company. We've tried to reach an agreement. We didn't reach an agreement, and they imposed it upon us. Didn't even give you, our members, the opportunity to reject or accept that offer. And it's in those two principles, not enough pay and the fact of imposition, that we are where we are. And as both Karen and Dave have said earlier, we have offered discussions with the company. We did give them to this week to come back round the table, obviously on the basis that they had to improve the offer, and on the basis that they would have the opportunity, our members would have the opportunity to vote whether they accepted or rejected any improved offer. That was rejected by the company, rejected out of hand. So we are where we are, and say it doesn't give us any pleasure to do so. But we are going to fight these people, and we are going to take them on. It is unfair in this country at this point in time. Well, our members are suffering the way they are suffering. The unfairness that we've said over the last few weeks, we have got workers in BT where they should be ashamed of themselves actually using food banks within the company. to supplement the lack of wages from this company. And at the same time, as Dave has said there, other people in this company are taking away millions. And it's not right. It cannot be right that the shareholders are getting £761 million of the £1.3 billion profit. They are taking away 58% of the profits into dividends into their pockets, quite a lot of which is actually going straight out of this country elsewhere. And all our members are only getting the equivalent of 5.8% of those profits, which, if they got it, would actually be spent in this country to resolve some of the other issues. So, you know, it is no pleasure that we're here, but we have to fight now, and we are going to take them on, and we are not backing down on this issue whatsoever. So I also want to just thank everyone for the support up to now, not just the support for us, the CW union, because our members are the union. So it's support for each other, support for all of our members out there. Thank you all for what you've done. And as Karen said at the beginning, this is all about staying united now. We have to stay united, and we will stay united. And we will win this dispute over the next few weeks. I would ask again, and I'll do it publicly on this basis, it's not too late for BT to come back to the table. We are willing to meet with the company at any point in time, whether it's between now and the first day of action or at the other side of that. We are willing to meet with the company at any time, but it has to be on the basis that they are willing to come with an improved offer and willing to allow our members to have the final say on whatever position that is. So thank you all for your support. Let's stick together. We can win this fight.
Thank you, Andy. So first of all, to say thank you to all three of you. I think it's excellent. And the response from the members has been fantastic as well. I know you miss a lot of that when you're online and you're concentrating. So thank you to all three of you. To the members, there's going to be a lot of noise this week. In the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you, but we will ensure that we get all the information that you can possibly need ahead of the first day of strike action. Simple message from us is to just stick together, as Andy said. And as all of our officers have said, we're going to take BT Group to a place they've never been before, but we need your support to do that. So stick with the union and we'll get the right result for everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. Take care.